All right, do you see me? Do you hear me?
We can hear you very well. Thank you.
Yay, we did it. We did it. I apologize. I had a church conference that was really important at 4. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. It actually worked out for the best because I was able to pull in a couple friends to join me who are big Back to the Future fans. But everybody, welcome to another Geeks interview. I'm joined today by the scene snobs Mick and Mastershake Dan. Claudia, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing? How was your Christmas?
It's fantastic. You and I met at Columbus Wizard World back in 2019. I know you're not going to remember this. We interviewed you for like 20 minutes, and all we did was talk about food. Ended up buying you.
I remember that.
I ended up buying you a couple slices of pizza.
Yes. I've got 2 huge pots of bone broth country stew that I made that are simmering on my stove, and they've been simmering for like 2 days on and off, mostly on. And it's the most delicious soup ever in the history of the world.
That was one of my favorite interviews. Like, we had planned on talking about like Back to the Future and your fashion the whole time. We ended up talking about food. It was fantastic.
That's the real life thing.
Yeah. How was your holidays, your Christmas?
It was the best. My son called me and he surprised me, and he came and joined me for Christmas in a couple of days, and it was the best Christmas ever since the birth of Christ.
That's wonderful. That's awesome.
It was awesome.
And Christmas has just been a wonderful time. Everybody did a good job, right? Everybody got everything they wanted.
First year I've ever been surprised since I was a kid for Christmas. I got surprised twice.
How?
My ex-wife and friend got me a pop figure of me, which was really awesome. One of those Funko Pops. And then my uncle got me a tablet, an iPad. Like, nice. I was genuinely like just shocked.
Can I see your Funko Pop? Did you bring it?
I can go get it. Hold on one second. I'll let
okay.
talk to you.
Yeah, those things were a lot of fun. My wife and I did those too. We got
You did? How do you do that?
You can go right on their website, funko.com, and you can customize your own.
I kind of would like them to do it on their own since I'm Jennifer Parker.
Right there. Absolutely.
Don't you think that's the right thing?
And it will go right up there next to Marty and Doc.
Yeah, I got it.
You guys are so tiny. Oh, there, look at that. I can make you bigger. Am I still the same size if I make you bigger?
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah?
You're great. That's perfect.
Okay, let me see your Funko Pop. Oh, I like it. It's darling. Oh, that's it's awesome. Darling. Oh, look at that. Now I can look at each of you. All right. The recording thing is covering your face. Duck down a little bit. Just duck down a little bit. I remember you. Okay, cool.
Wonderful.
So, awesome. I'm going to start us off with the basics. What was the process like getting Back to the Future, and what was it like switching to Michael J. Fox?
Okay, for the process of getting Back to the Future, I only had one audition. I had so Gremlins, Goonies, and Young Sherlock Holmes got down to me and the girl who got it, not being me. So by the time I auditioned for Back to the Future, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go in again. And I only had one audition because they all knew me by then. So I walked in and it was Steven Spielberg, Bob Zemeckis, Bob Gale, Neil Canton, Judy Taylor, Fenton Feinberg, and the cameraman at Amblin. And then Steven kicked out the cameraman. The actor auditioning for Marty, it was his 11th callback. The scene that we auditioned with was the scene between Marty and Lorraine in the car where she's drinking and smoking before the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. And we were in there about 2.5 hours. And Steven spoke to me the entire time. Like, we did the scene a gazillion times, and it was super fun. He wanted us to do it faster, and it was really, really fun. And then Steven kept asking me all these personal questions. And every time he would ask me a question, I said, okay, wait. I'll answer this, but you cannot tell my mom. And, I won't tell you. And I said, no, I really mean it. You've got to promise. Because I was very sheltered and I was very controlled. So I needed some privacy. And Steven was like, have you ever dated? Has a boy ever kissed you? And I was like, you cannot tell my mom. So he promised. And then when I was leaving, he goes, "Oh my goodness, the camera's been rolling this whole time." And I was like, "Nobody can see that." So we had so much fun. I was more nervous about this commercial callback I had later in the day because they always said I was like too classic for commercials. So I was used to going to the network. I was used to most things getting down to me and one or two other girls. So that was kind of commonplace for me. But a commercial callback, I was like, whoa, I got to do good on this. So it was just one of my most fun auditions. And then like a week or 2 or 3 later, they said you got the part, and I was super excited. That was literally my first movie. I starred in a bunch. They called me the pilot queen. I was in a pilot every year. Many of them got picked up for 6 episodes. They were always supposed to be the biggest hit of the season. They never were. And I did a ton of episodics and school break specials and movies of the week. And I worked all the time, which is so funny because everyone's, I think most people think I was like the one hit wonder. And I worked for like 10 years.
But a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was in a lot of stuff, which I absolutely loved. But I am so grateful for Back to the Future because everyone said, and okay, so let me answer your other question. I did school pictures with Marty, with Eric Stoltz. We got together a couple times to get to know each other. Roger Neal's texting me saying, "Let's reschedule." So one of you guys should tell him, "Oh no, we're having so much fun. We're actually on."
Wonderful.
So anyway, we got together a few times. They didn't realize Eric and I knew each other because when he first came to LA to be an actor from living in Santa Barbara, we were in Stella Adler's master class. It was one of the last master classes of acting that she gave. She was one of the greatest acting teachers from New York. Like she taught Marlon Brando and all these great. She hated me. She didn't like women very much. She really liked Eric. And he had this long stringy hair. And so when I saw him, I already knew him. And we did boyfriend, girlfriend pictures in the back lot of Universal that were going to go in his wallet. And then the powers that be at Amblin had us get together at some Hollywood something or other function. So we could, get to know each other. He used to call my apartment, my house with my mom, and she'd answer the phone and he would say, "Is Jennifer there?" And my sister's name is Jennifer. And my mom would say, "No, Jennifer doesn't live here. She lives in San Francisco. Who's this?" He said, "It's Marty." And she'd go, "Marty?" And he'd say, "Yeah, I'm looking for Jennifer Parker." And she'd say, "Jennifer Parker?" Oh. And then she'd say, "It's the guy playing your boyfriend."
Wow.
I've always wondered how the transition was on set, because I don't really see it talked about too often other than, but how was the transition from Eric leaving to Michael coming in?
You want to hear a really funny story?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All of them.
And then can I answer your question after that?
100%.
Okay. Right.
Yes, that's your picture right there. And both of them are autographs. I've met you in the past.
Yay, that's why you look so familiar. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, really famous.
The blue one is the flyer from Back to the Future. And I remember.
Okay, I love signing that. I'm going to be doing a comic book signing on January 20th in Texas. Heroes and Fantasies, I think it's called. And from 10 to 4 p.m. If you go to backtothefuture.com or claudiawells.com, you'll see the address and all the information. Anyway, I was saying to the guy that I love the ability to say I love you in writing to people all over the world. When I write I love you 5554823, like I did to Marty. And I love that it was my handwriting. That's one of my greatest joys, doing that. But anyway, okay.
Oh, can I share with you a quick story about that, though?
Of course.
Only because you brought it up. When I got it signed, I asked, "Could you sign it the way you sign in the movie?" And you say, "I haven't done that yet. What's the number?" No, for real? And I told you the number. This was many years ago.
One?
I don't know if I'm the one. There might have been a few. Like, I'm not going to take credit for that.
You are the one.
I came up to you. It was in New Jersey. You were at Schiller Theater. I got the flyer and I said, could you please sign it? And you said, I know I signed it, I love you, but I can't remember the number. I said it's 555-4823 because I love this is my favorite movie. That used to be my password for some things. I can say that now because it is not anymore.
You're the guy.
I am the guy, really?
Tell me your name again. What is your name again?
Well, back then, Michael. I have a stage name Mick, but I go by Michael.
What's your actual full name?
Michael Kimball.
I have been looking for you. What year was that? Like 2012?
No, I think that was 2000 and it had to be before 2005.
Okay, I have been looking for you ever since to say thank you. I've been talking about you for all these years. There was this guy who came up to me and came up with this. You'll see me in videos saying a fan came up with this idea, and I'm so grateful to him because I've been doing this all over the world ever since. It's you. Wow.
Yeah, he just had a small stroke.
Thank you.
I might cry.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You're the guy. Thank you. You are the guy I've been looking for since then. I didn't think of it. I didn't know the number. You are that guy.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
I am so grateful. And I thank you on behalf of the whole world of fans that I've signed it to. I thank you on behalf of the guy in Australia who got it tattooed on his shoulder. I thank you on behalf of the guy in the Netherlands who had it tattooed on the back of his calf. There's a guy in some other country who had me sign it on his chest, and he got it tattooed. I'm telling you, it's one of my joys to sign, and you came up with it. It's you.
It was one of my most prized possessions. I never lost it. It always stayed with me.
You have the first one ever in the history of the world. Ever, because it was your idea, and I've been copycatting your idea ever since.
Technically, the second one.
Why the second one? Because I did it for Marty, so it was technically, actually, in reality, Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis' idea, and then the script supervisor walked up to me with a piece of paper and a little stick of note and said, write this down. And I wrote it down, and it was that handwriting that ended up in the archives of the world. And then I was actually writing it for Marty, and Bob Zemeckis is like, you're really taking a long time. Why don't you just put a T there? And I was like, okay.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I appreciate you, and I thank you. I've been looking for you for a very, 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 very long time.
Crazy.
Oh God.
Amen. Praise God indeed, because he is my savior.
This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Wild.
Wow.
That's extraordinary. Roger Neal, thank you for this interview.
I just got her pizza, Mick.
My life. Do not cut this out,
really
Jason.
Important. I can't wait to tell all my friends.
It's great.
I need a screenshot. Wait, we're going to do a screenshot. Smile. Uh-oh. Wait.
I'll do it for you. How's that then?
My son is a data scientist, computer engineer, computer coder, but mommy doesn't know how to use a computer. So let me do a proper screenshot. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay.
Oh my God.
Woo!
This is so touching and amazing. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. I'm going to tell Bob Gale. I'm telling everybody.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Just knowing that.
I'm going to mention this for the rest of my life. I
just became Mick's best friend.
You can never.
Excited. I have so much been wanting to see that guy again and say thank you. And you're that guy.
What's so crazy to me? Because I remember that too. And I was going up, and when you signed it, I was like, I was afraid to ask, but I'm so glad I did.
I have been doing it ever since that moment.
It's awesome.
And everyone's professionals are like, you should do harder paper. You should do. I'm like, no, it has to be like the movie, just a piece of paper. And I give 2 out for the price of 1 because that way people can frame the front and put the back that has my handwriting next to it. Otherwise, you can't see both sides at the same time.
Yeah, I have your handwriting showing. I don't have the front, so I got
Well,
like
you need the front.
Yeah, I'll definitely print one up for sure. Like I need
No,
to.
no, I'll send it to you. Let me send it to you.
Oh, you don't have to do that. That's so much. I don't want to make
But wouldn't
you.
that be fun? Oh, you know what else I'll send you? I turned it into a shirt, a clock tower shirt, and it's the same color blue. But then this guy got he was so smart. He got royalty rights with Universal for the clock tower shirt, and he copycatted it. However, he couldn't do the I love you with the phone number on the back because that was me. So I wasn't allowed to make the shirts or sell the shirts anymore. So I never made them again, but I kept a few. And since I'm not selling it, I will send you one of my first batch, which is the only batch because now I'm not allowed to make more.
Oh,
Won't that be fun?
dude! Oh my God! Thank you. I'm just kind of speechless.
You have to give Roger all your information, and I will send you one. I have like just a few left because I've saved them. Now this is years ago I made them.
That's getting framed too. Like that's going up right next to it.
In fact, I still have one of the original, what do you call it, prototypes, but I wasn't crazy about the color or how the flyer looked. I'll send you that also. I am so excited.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I don't know. I talk for a living and I don't know what to say. These guys can attest. I don't never not talk.
You literally have affected the personal lives of thousands of people because of you walking up and saying that to me. All over this world, Japan, Netherlands, Germany, Brussels, Chile, Buenos Aires, Malta, Ubud, China, Singapore, Hong Kong, most of the States, several places in Australia.
Well, that's because of you. That's
because
you guys
of your idea. Mallorca. I'm telling you, so many countries. It's the most popular thing I do.
That's awesome, man. Mick, I only bought her pizza, man. This is awesome. Like I'm pretty sure I just became Mick's best friend for inviting him to join us today.
You're definitely one of them at least.
Oh, you got invited because I had my church Zoom at 4.
Yeah, I reached out to him because we work together occasionally, and I'm like, hey man, I got Claudia Wells. You're a Back to the Future fan. Why don't you and Dan come join me? And he's like, yeah. I'm in.
Right,
like, it's just rescheduled for 8, so it's perfect.
You see, Romans 8:28. All things work together for good to those who love the Lord and are called according to His purposes. I live on that. That's my Bible verse. That is my life. See,
awesome.
We're living proof.
Oh my God!
Well, Claudia, what was the funny story you were about to tell us?
oh! This is really funny. Okay, so this part's also. Eric was let go in the middle of the night on set.
Middle of the night?
Well, yeah, because they only did night shooting at that point. Okay. So, and Eric is a genius and brilliant actor and so fantastic and a great director. And I can't wait to see him again. He's just a great man and I hope to work with him. So that's all true. Everything I say is true. So, well, Marilyn, my Bahamian sister, says I lie sometimes, but if I do, I say it within like 10 seconds that I lied. So anyway, that would be the adjunct to that. However, Bob Gale, no, was it Bob? Bob Zemeckis, one of those guys, had to go tell Chris, went into Chris's trailer to say, and he said, Chris, I got to let you know that Eric Stoltz is no longer going to be on the film. And Chris goes, who's that? And he goes, the actor in the film. Which one? And he goes, he was playing Marty. Marty McFly. Oh, I thought his name was really Marty. and he was playing Marty. What was his name? Because he had everyone call him Marty. So Chris thought his real name was Marty. And it just so happened he was playing Marty.
Because he was playing, he was playing it straight. Yeah.
So he had no idea who Eric Stoltz was.
Oh my gosh.
That's the funny story.
That is, oh my god, too. Because it makes sense. Because
voice saying it too, like.
What'd you say?
No, I was just going to say because him calling your house and even asking for Jennifer Parker and that's like, but this gets to a point where like even Christopher Lloyd doesn't even know his name, and
didn't even know his name. He just thought it was funny because he thought, I just thought it was a coincidence that his name was Marty. But okay, so I only did pictures with Eric because I did a pilot called Off the Rack with Ed Asner and Eileen Brennan, and then I got the part. It was for ABC, a 3-camera. In front of a live audience show. And then I got the part of Jennifer. The pilot wasn't supposed to sell, even though it was supposed to be the greatest, biggest hit. And then ABC decided to pick it up for 6 episodes. And then the episodes were going to be the exact same time that I was supposed to originally film Jennifer. And ABC would not share me with Amblin. So I had to back out of being Jennifer because my original commitment and contract was to ABC Network. So they recast my part. And then I did my episodes of Off the Rack, and it was wonderful and fun and all that good stuff. And then they let go of Eric, but the girl they recast as Jennifer is 5'7". And there was people on set who just didn't think it would be, right for Marty to have a tall girlfriend. So they're like, Claudia's still available, or again available, and I got my part back. And then I filmed because they cast Michael, who's 5'4", and at the time I was 5'3.5". And now, of course, I'm 5'2.5". This is Oreo.
Hi, Oreo. Oh my god, adorable.
Yeah, usually one of my animals comes and joins me.
I was actually funny you mentioned this story. I think I was telling you guys that in the beginning, right? Like, but I didn't know that.
I didn't know. I thought you were the only Jennifer the whole time.
Well, that's what people say.
You are in my heart.
Thank you. Then Elizabeth Shue was Jennifer in Back to the Future 2 and 3, which is very interesting because I but I met with Cameron Crowe. Adventures in Babysitting was down to Elizabeth and me and Phoebe Cates.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I have to say I was astounded I didn't get it because I've been a professional babysitter since I was 7.
I gotta ask.
That's like legendary names right there. Like, I mean, somewhere 10-year-old me is just like, like you guys, I just looked up to you guys so much growing up. Like, wow.
And then I got this the role of Linda Barrett in the TV series version of Fast Times, which was Phoebe Cates in the movie.
Yep. Oh my
God. A weird world, I tell you.
It is too, and especially because I think you said Gremlins and Young Sherlock Holmes too, along with Back to the Future in the begining. So those are all very similar. I
tested for Labyrinth, Lucas, War Games, Lost Boy. I mean, you name an 80s movie, I probably screen tested.
Actually, I had a question about your clothing line. I
have the greatest clothing store in the whole wide world.
I know, I love it. You know what? When I was thinking about it, I was like, because the trends of the 80s have come back so much, do you find yourself designing things that are maybe familiar to you from when you were acting in those times?
Well, I do have a few suit lines and shirt lines, but I focus more on super high-end known designers like Gucci, Tom Ford, Giorgio Armani, Prada, really super high-end. However, I have iconic, perfect condition Gianni Versace from the mid-'80s and mid-'90s that looks like it's brand new, never worn. It is spectacular. Like pieces that would boggle your mind in the masterfulness of his extraordinary skill and talent. But other than Gianni Versace, everything I have is current style, perfect condition, super high-end, whether it's streetwear or a tuxedo. I have everything for men from head to toe. I recently celebrated 32 years from the day I opened, which was December 19th, 1991 at 10 a.m. when I was 25.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm open only by appointment through our moneywells.com. I'm the only one who will take care of anybody who walks in because I am the owner, the buyer, the seller, the everything. I've had people over the years and I decided, you know what? I want to take care of my guys personally all the time, period. Which I've always done anyway, but I've always had like somebody around when I'm out of town or to open in the morning. And it just, I'm not okay with that. I just like doing it myself. I can look at someone and know how to bring out actually their beauty and their strength. And men have a birthright of dignity and power that I like to show them.
What was that decision like going from acting? Because you pretty much left acting for a little while and decided to focus on fashion. What was that decision like for you? Like to go from one
It's kind
thing
of extraordinary. I actually opened my store originally because I wanted a financial basis so I could go back to acting. And then it became such a hit and such a gift and a talent and a strength. I had no idea that it was something that would innately come naturally to me. I didn't even know I had a business sense. All of it, I knew nothing when I opened my store other than my vision of how I think how I know men deserve to be treated and who I know men to be. And my vision of an Italian style boutique that is affordable to everyone, whether you're the valet across the street, whether you're a rock star, whether you own a studio, whether you're a doctor or lawyer. I wanted something for everyone, not just the super rich, but I wanted everyone to look like the super rich and feel that power of a suit that feels like you're wearing pajamas. Because that's why the man in the boardroom is the most, he's got the stature and the power because he's wearing a suit that feels like pajamas and everyone else is wearing a suit that feels like cardboard. Because unless you spend $2,000 or more, you're going to feel like you're wearing cardboard.
Yeah.
However, at my store, you don't have to ever spend that because I think it's only fair that you can wear something that is the best of the best of the best and afford it. So what happened was my store became so fulfilling, and in very similar ways as acting, it's a communication, it's an expression, it's a give and take, it's a creative outlet. I found that the passion is the same. So I've got the incredible blessing of that same passion in my store, in acting, and in the communication I have with fans when I do these shows and appearances. So there, and that same passion when I'm in church or praise and worship, or with my babies.
Claudia, like, what was it like coming back and voicing Jennifer?
It was
and doing this voice acting piece that you did, because like that's I'm a big fan, obviously, of your acting, but also like the game to me is the like ultimate sequel. And like, what
was it
like
a fun game? Was it a good game?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
So they sent me the password, but like I said, I don't know how to use a computer, and I lost the password, but I don't know how to use a computer anyway. And I know how to play like Pong, and what's that little animal that eats the
Pac-Man?
I know how to play Pac-Man, but so I never played it or saw it. I just am trusting people that they said it was good. But I'll answer that. It was such a weird, cool, outlandishly unexpected. I never knew I'd get to be Jennifer again. And then I get to be Jennifer, who's this like combo punk, like metamorphosized Jennifer, which is so cool because I'm this like metamorphosized Claudia. And Jennifer was basically me at when I was Jennifer. I mean, I was that innocent and that like nice. I'm still that nice, but I've lived so much life that I definitely have what do they call it? Street smarts and business smarts. So I'm a different I'm a much fuller human than I was in many, many ways. And Jennifer is too. So it was really cool. And it was just me and Christopher Lloyd. So I'd wait until he shows up and then we'd hang out and chat. I just adore him. He's so cool. He's a man who does not say a word unless he wants to, and unless he has something to say. So when we talk and he has something to say, it's just so much fun. And every time I see him, no matter how many years it is, I say, "Hey, Chris, it's Claudia Wells. I played Jennifer Parker in Back to the Future." And he always he goes, "I know who you are."
That's awesome. Yeah, the Back to the Future game is essentially like a fourth movie. It's written very, very well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Well, actually, I have a question for you. As a main player in the movie, would you ever want to see a sequel done?
I have to say no in honor of Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis because, and I will say that you got to thank them because we've got Back to the Future musical in London. We've got Back to the Future on Broadway, and both of those, I haven't seen the one on Broadway. I can't speak at that one other than I love everyone in it. But the one in London that I've seen, not in London, but oh yeah, it is in London. I've seen it 3 times, which is not enough.
I can't wait.
It's every bit as good as the movie, which is like so shocking to even say. But I mean, I loved it. I saw it on Monday. I heard there's a new cast on Wednesday. So that would be the second time I saw it was on Monday. And I'm like, "Bob, can I see it again on Wednesday?" They said I could. Could I? He's like, "Of course you can." And then I mean, I'm telling you, it's amazing. And I said, "Bob, how is it even possible you did a musical that's as good as the movie?" "I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you." And then he goes, "It was a lot of hard work." So we have to say thank you to them. They've given us way more than a Back to the Future 4. And God only knows what's next. And the Back to the Future, if it's true, is going to go on tour throughout the country. And they always come up with things that are clever. And we've got the 40th coming up very soon. So who knows what they're going to come up with next.
I cannot wait.
I'm glad we didn't get a fourth. I mean, the game, like I said, acts as a fourth movie, but I think those 3 movies are so perfect together. And I'm sure like it would have been easy for them to say, "You know what?" Because obviously they probably got money offers. I'm sure they got offered to do a 4th movie.
Of course they did, but they don't need that.
They were able to say no, like this is perfect the way it is. Like we don't need to expand on it. And I love that. Like I especially with the Michael J. Fox current like health situation. I wouldn't want them to replace him at all either.
They'll never do it without Michael. That I know for sure. They will never do a movie without Michael. I mean, he is the movie.
Yeah. I'd hate to see a perfectly rounded trilogy be messed up in any way.
Yeah. And 3 is Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I mean, you can't. Where's their 4th? There isn't.
Nope.
And they're giving so many gifts. It always the gift that keeps on giving.
That's true. Claudia, can I ask you an Eric Stoltz question?
Sure.
So, one of my favorite Eric Stoltz movies, like Some Kind of Wonderful, is like probably a top 5 80s movie for me, and that would have been shortly after this. And you said that the 2 of you are close. Did you ever get to talk to him about that film at all, or no?
No, actually, it was before it, and I screen tested for it.
You did?
It was before Back to the Future because I screen tested.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh wow. What do you know about that film that you could give me?
I know I read the script and I didn't get the part.
Like,
way to bring it up, Dan.
I feel like I beat a drum for that movie and it doesn't get the love that it deserves. And like,
I can agree with you. And I think Leah was magnificent. And I loved Leah in it. I loved Eric in it. I loved Masterson.
Mary Stuart Masterson.
Yeah. Oh, she is so great.
Yeah.
And by the way, have you seen Leah's daughters? One of them is like this extraordinary singer and she plays the piano and writes her own songs. And the other one is one of my favorite actresses on the planet.
I will say this about Leah Thompson. No, she got into directing, and her 2 episodes of Star Trek Picard in season 2 were 2 of my favorites. Like, she did a great job.
she's just great at everything she does. I mean, she's a really cool human. She's a really cool human. And she has chickens who lay eggs.
That's
She
awesome.
did. She went all in. That's awesome.
Well rounded.
Before I let you go, tell us about Quinn. Looks like it's completed and coming out here soon.
Oh my gosh. If you look on at the Claudia Wells on Facebook or Instagram, or if you go to Claudia Wells on YouTube, sounded like a shameless plug, but it's actually, I'm telling you the real deal. If you go to my Armani Wells video, it's like 3.5 minutes long. And there's a picture of me and the girl who stars in Quinn sitting in front of my store in our Army gear. I don't know if it's done or if it's not done. They just keep calling me every now and again and say, we keep making your part bigger. You want to film again? And I'm like, sure.
Well,
Hey,
that's
were the
awesome.
shoots? Did the
That's
shoots
awesome.
go really well?
Is it what?
Did the shoots go really well?
Oh, I loved it. Every time I do anything, I'm like, do I still love it? Is it still my thing? And every time I act, I'm like, oh, I still love it. It's still my thing. And I feel in my heart that my best work is ahead of me.
That's wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see so much more. And
Me too.
I can't thank you enough for all the kindness you showed just to me on this show tonight. Oh my God.
I'm
That's
so
awesome,
happy I
Claudia.
did this. I'm so happy to meet you again, and you for the first time.
Thank you again so much.
Wasn't this
Yes, thank
just
you. We're-
amazing?
I know you've said it, but where can everybody find you online? Just one more time.
ClaudiaWells.com is my website where you can buy autograph pictures and flyers and all that and see my event schedule. Claudia Wells on YouTube. I need subscribers because I don't think people are really finding it.
I'm on it.
Thank you. At the THE Claudia Wells on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Oh, TikTok is Claudia Wells Official. Any of them, you'll see a blue check mark. If you don't see a blue check mark, it's not me.
Okay.
So at the Claudia Wells on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Claudia Wells Official on TikTok. Claudia Wells on YouTube. ClaudiaWells.com and ArmaniWells.com to schedule coming into my store. Key, I am not open otherwise.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Again, thank you, Claudia. If you don't mind sticking around for just a second, everybody out there, you guys have a great day. All the links will be down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.